I find all these extremities of activity going on in these South African streets very, very taxing. But it's okay. Because after all, I didn't like accounting in school, so who cares about tax, right? It doesn't matter. Give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, but guess what I belong to? Heaven. And guess who therein do I belong to? The Lord. So Caesar, Shmiza, you're Caesar. And I'm not being given over to you. Do you understand? Mamelang, random gangsters, panty-wearing married men. I know that you've been experimenting for very many years, like you're playing a game of Monopoly. And then you win a house. And the little jail card, you give it to Christians. And you're like, you're going to jail without a get out of jail card. If anything, you keep the jail card. We understand that you've been doing that for a very long amount of time and pretty much getting away with all that murder. We get it. But do you want to know why you've been getting away with a handsome amount of murder against the body of Christ? It's because there's not sufficient true Christianity in the midst of those who profess Christ, and those who are really of God are just so small in number that we don't stand a chance in a country that's very severely persecuting against just the litany of you. However, in spite of not standing a chance, not being able to breathe without there being any resuscitation in the room, without any Heimlich maneuver to take any peas out of our throats, we essentially die. But to live is Christ, but to die is gain, and precious in the sight of the Lord is the death of his saints. So when we die, we get translated over to heaven, but woe to you should you be met with impactful saints that you try to kill, but that God won't let die. If at all God won't let us die, it means there is a remnant he's saving for himself to essentially show you flames, expose your dipona in your stretla, your zimbambos, your butt nakedness, that you might be humiliated by a handful, a scoop, if you will, of saints, given that you tortured the rest and sent them to heaven. They're martyrs under the altar and they're more. But you've been coming at me, holding me, Gadi J. Racy, trying to take me to heaven when God is like, no, she's among my remnant. And you know what God does with a remnant? Creates an expose, a little bit of a special assignment, a little bit of a defector chilling in another country speaking about how, listen, I come from a cesspool of dirt and I nearly died. But guess how many people did die? A cool 20,000, but I was among those who survived. God always has a remnant. You will remember what happened with the Holocaust. Yeah, those Jews over there told us horror stories, and I'm one of the people that are going to tell